Panagdait sa Diyos ug sa tanang kabuhatan, I am Dayamay sa Banal, and for tonight, I am going to present to you The Adventure of Tom Sawyer. Before anything else, let us first get to know who is the author of this novel. So, the author of this novel is Samuel Clemens, usually known by his pen name Mark Twain. He was an American humorist, novelist, and travel writer. Today, he is best remembered as the author of The Adventures of Tom Sawyer in 1876 and Adventures of Huckleberry Finn in 1885. Twain is widely considered one of the greatest American writers of all time. Now let's move on to the elements of this novel. First, we have is the characters. So Tom Sawyer is the novel's protagonist. He is a mischievous boy with an active imagination who spends most of the novel getting himself and often his friends into and out of trouble. But despite his mischief, Tom has a good heart and a strong moral conscience. Next is Huckleberry Finn. He is the son of the town drunk. Hawk is a juvenile outcast who is shunned by respectable society and adored by the local boys, who envy his freedom. Third, we have is Becky Thatcher. So she is the judge's daughter. She is very pretty and she has a yellow hair. From almost the minute she moves to town, Becky is the adored person who steers Tom's lively romantic sensibility. She is naive at first, but Becky soon matches Tom as a romantic strategist, and the two go to great lengths to make each other jealous. Lastly is Joe Harper. So he is the best friend of Tom and the partner in crime. Their friendship is really quite simple. The boys enjoys doing the same thing, playing hooky, pretending to be Robin Hood, and just generally having fun. Next is the setting of the story. So the story takes place in the fictional town of St. Petersburg, Missouri during the mid 19th century. For the plot revolves around Tom Sawyer's adventures, which include witnessing a murder, getting lost in a cave, and attending his own funeral. The novel also explores themes such as the value of friendship, the importance of honesty, and the dangers of prejudice. The tone of the novel, it has a light-hearted and humorous tone, but it also deals with serious issues such as crime, punishment, and social inequality. The last one of the element is the style. So, Mark Twain's writing style is known for its use of vernacular language and regional dialects, which helps to create a sense of authenticity and realism. Now, let's have the summary of the novel. So, in this text, it describes the character and situation of Tom Sawyer, a young boy who lives with his Aunt Polly near the Mississippi River. Tom is portrayed as a mischievous and troublemaking child who enjoys getting into mischief. One day, Tom misses school and gets into a fight, leading to him being punished with the task of whitewashing a fence. But instead of seeing the punishment as a chore, Tom decides to turn it into a fun game. He manages to trick other boys into the neighborhood to do the work for him. by convincing them that whitewashing the fence is actually a great honor and that he is lucky to have the opportunity to do it. The other boys, thinking they are doing something special, they eagerly take over the task and even pay Tom small, valuable objects for the privilege of doing so. In this way, Tom not only avoids doing the work himself, but also benefits from the situation by collecting valuable items from his friend. Around this time, Tom falls in love with a young girl, Becky Thatcher. He suffers under a whirlwind romance, an engagement to her before she shuns him after she hears of Tom's previous engagement to Amy Lawrence. He tries to win Becky back, but it doesn't go well. She refuses a gift he tries to give her, and humiliated, Tom runs off and dreams up a plan to run away. So, because Tom is devastated by the rejection and tries to win Becky back by giving her a gift, but she refuses it, the rejection leaves Tom feeling humiliated and he decides to run away. He dreams up a plan to leave the town and become a pirate, which is in the active of his adventurous and imaginative nature. So, in this uh, subplot, it highlights the themes of love, rejection, and the consequences of one's actions. Tom's engagement to Amy Lawrence and subsequent rejection of Becky show the impact that his action can have on others, and how these actions can come back to affect him later on. It also shows the emotional ups and downs of young love and how rejection can have a profound impact on a person. So, Tom and Huck agree to meet in a graveyard at midnight to test a scheme to cure warts that involves a dead cat. This scene is an example of the boys' adventurous and mischievous nature, as well as their fascination with superstitions and folk remedies. It also serves as the precursor to the adventures that Tom and Huck will have in Adventures of Huckleberry Finn, where they embark on a series of daring and dangerous escapades together. So the meeting between Tom and Huck is significant because it marks the beginning of their friendship, which is central to the plot of Adventures of Huckleberry Finn. The boys come from different backgrounds, with Tom being a respectable family and Huck being an outcast and social pariah. However, they share a common spirit of adventure and desire to live life on their own terms. Their friendship becomes a symbol of the possibilities of freedom and self determination, as well as a critic of the social norms and prejudice of their time. So, after yet another rejection by Becky Thatcher, Tom and Huck run off with their friend Joe Harper. They steal some food and head to Jackson's Island. They are not there long before they discover a search party looking for three boys presumed drowned and realize they are the boys in question. They play along with the charade for a while and don't reveal themselves until their funerals. Marching into the church, to the surprise and consternation of their families, Tom continues his flirtation with Becky. With limited success over summer vacation, eventually overcome with guilt, he testifies at the trial of Muff Potter, exonerating him of Robinson's murder. Potter is released, and Injun Joe escapes through a window in the courtroom. So, this theme of conscience and Consciences of one's action, Tom decided to keep the murder secret, but it weighs heavily on him and he becomes consumed by guilt and remorse. The situation highlights the flaws and injustices of the justice system, as Muff is jailed for a crime he did not commit. Overall, this subplot adds a layer of complexity to the story and shows the moral growth and development of the character of Tom Sawyer. The court case isn't Tom's last encounter with Injun Joe. However, in the final part of the novel, he and Becky, newly reunited, get lost in one of the caves. Here, Tom stumbles across her archenemy, escaping his clutches and finding his way out. Tom manages to alert the townspeople, who lock up the cave while leaving Injun Joe inside. Our hero ends up happy, however, as he and Hawk discover a box of gold that once belonged to Injunjo, and the money is invested for them. Tom finds happiness, and much to his distress, Hawk finds respectability by being adopted. However, they eventually reveal themselves by marching into the church during their funerals. Much to the surprise and consternation of their families and friends, this scene highlights the boys' mischievous and playful nature, as well as their desire for adventure and excitement. At the same time, the scene also highlights the themes of family and community, as the boys' families and friends are deeply affected by their supposed deaths. The shocks and reliefs that the families experience when they realize the boys are alive underscores the importance of human connection and the bonds of love and friendship. Overall, the subplot adds a touch of humor and adventure to the story while also exploring important themes of family, community, and human connection. So that's the end of the summary of the adventures of Tom Sawyer. Now let's have the literary device used in the novel. First, we have the foreshadowing. Mark Twain uses foreshadowing to hint at future events in the story. For example, when Tom and Huck find the treasure, they swear never to reveal where they found it, foreshadowing the fact that they will later face difficulties due to their secrecy. Next is irony. The novel contains several examples of irony. For instance, Tom is punished for playing hooky from school by being made to whitewash a fence, but he manages to trick his friends into doing the work for him. Next is satire. Mark Twain uses satire to critique various aspects of society. For example, he satirizes the hypocrisy of adults who punish children for telling lies but who themselves tell lies regularly. Next is symbolism. The novel contains several symbols, such as Mississippi River, which symbolizes freedom and adventure, and the cave, which symbolizes danger and the unknown. Lastly, we have is imagery. Mark Twain uses imagery to create vivid and sensory descriptions of characters and settings. For example, when describing Injun Joe, he uses words such as savage, wild, and sinister to create a vivid mental image of the character. Overall, Mark Twain's use of literary devices in the adventures of Tom Sawyer adds depth and complexity to the story, making it a classic work of literature. So, for the last part, we have is integration. The novel emphasizes the importance of friendship Tom's relationship with his friends, especially Huckleberry Finn, are a central part of the novel. The boys rely on each other for support and companionship, and their bond strengthens as they face various challenges together. This shows that the power of friendship in overcoming adversity and the value of having close connection with one another is very important. That's all for my report. Thank you.